Welcome to Carol's Light Community. Today I'd like to remind you through our Stewardship of Footprints program that this Saturday coming up, April 22nd, is Earth Day. It has always been a very favorite mark on my calendar because it brings again to light so much more that I can be doing on a daily basis. And it's just a gentle reminder that this is a great day for us to get involved in maybe some kind of a cleanup at a park or the beach, or to contact maybe a local organization to volunteer. But it's also a nice reminder that we should be doing this on a monthly, a weekly, daily basis of being our own stewardship of our footprints in terms of all that we can do to maybe recycle, to be sustainable, to help our communities through volunteering, or just being aware on a daily basis. So if you haven't printed out our April Mindful Calendar, please do so, because during this week we do remind you April 22nd is Earth Day, and it'll just be a nice reminder if you do check it on Saturday as well. I'd like to just bring up a couple ideas that I have for maybe this week. One of them is I'm an absolute lover of National Geographic because it brings me to a place and a time in all of their magazines that I so wish that I was either there at that moment or maybe put it on my bucket list for the future. And they've always had a monthly subscription, and they print a wonderful, beautiful magazine, and I love still getting them. I love being able to flip through them. Most of them always come with an internal map that you can have and use, or maybe even put on a wall if you'd like to do so. But I'm not sure of the exact year. I'm going to say it was right around 1998 or 1999. They actually came out with their very first 13th print of a magazine, and it was specifically labeled water. This is one of the best resources that I have ever included in my library, and I do take it out and read it quite often. And then came 2010, and they had a follow-up that is called Water, Our Thirsty World. And again, it comes with a map that talks about rivers around the world. It updates certain articles that were, as in the first publication, that was about a decade before that. And then since then, they've had not supplement, but magazines that came out on monthly. And this one was back in even 2002, and it talks about the Earth's fresh water as an update. It talks about Great Lakes, talks about just different, issues that have gone on globally. So National Geographic came out with the Big Thaw. And so these are very, very beautifully written articles with pictures, of course, that National Geographic is known for. So this might just be a suggestion this week that you went to your local library, or even go to National Geographic online and see if they have maybe one or two of these magazines available. And yourself, or maybe include your family as well, might pick one to read to each other, or look at, or even take those beautiful graphic maps and be able to read an article and then actually be able to look on the map of where they're talking about. So that is just one suggestion. And then again, please reach out into your community. I'm sure they're going to have local events, and it looks like most of us are going to have some nice weather. And if you don't, then maybe put on a jacket and see what you can do anyways. And if not out in the community, you definitely have probably things you can do at home. And I, for one, am going to be out volunteering in our local community. They're having a group that's going to go to several of the parks to pick up litter, and we're going to be kind of transitioning from the cold kind of winter into this kind of chilly spring, and we're going to be planting a couple trees along the way as well. So I'm very excited about that. If you do have some little ones and maybe you need to be at home with them, or if you're out and they get a little bit distracted, we do have a couple ideas. One of our really great companies that we're aware of and we try to engage in is Kids Yoga Stories. And Giselle and their team printed out a very nice, just 5 poses called Spring Yoga. And this can be printed out from her website. And what's great about it, it just gives your kids a small yoga sequence, but it ties it again to some of our outside nature that is so valuable to us, and especially to recognize that on Earth Day. And so that's just a nice interactive activity. And then on Carol's Light, if you go on to our website, we have some printables that are there for free. And we have kind of a garden collection that might be fun to print out and maybe let your kids draw. And yes, I did go to my recycle bin that we talked about earlier in one of my tutorials. And I actually just reprinted these on some paper that had the backside free for me to be able to do that. So those are a couple suggestions for your kids if you'd like to. Another is also just to pick up a bag if you have them. I don't use these often, and if I have gotten them, or if for some reason I find one of the plastic bags, I keep these very close by. And even if you don't go out into the community and you grab one of these bags, maybe you and your family members can walk up and down your street. Or maybe if you're going grocery shopping, or you have to go to the soccer field because it's a soccer day, maybe you and your family could take a bag and just start the trend. Is just, if you see something on the ground, stop and pick it up. And usually there's waste containers that then you can put your bag into that. But every little bit helps, and it really doesn't take a lot, maybe just a little bit more of an imagination on, how you can do something that is very simple, but just reflects in such a grand way, because it's very powerful for others to see others doing good like that. So those are just a couple suggestions. And I personally am engaged in what I call the Plastic Pledge. So I challenge some of our community members to maybe take that pledge with me. And what I'm going to be doing in further tutorials on our YouTube channel is just to go back down to the simplicity of what it is to take, one plastic container and how many uses that I can use with it, or why did I have to purchase something in plastic anyways? How can I be responsible to either make this sustainable, or is the plastic recyclable, that if I can't find a secondary use for it, that it is, something that I can put into the recyclable container that actually can be recycled. Starting something in a change of habit generally takes a person 21 days. There's statistics, there's articles that's been written that a change of habit is a slower process than most want, because of course we like instant gratification. But that's one of the things that I'm just going to be very cautious about, is that a change in terms of somebody's behavior does take a little bit of time, because it goes back to consistency. Are you consistent with what your thought process is on just one thing that can make your footprint matter? And that's what we're really trying to engage with this I Take the Plastic Pledge, because plastic has just become so apparent that it's just widely used. It doesn't seem to be changing too rapidly with who I feel are responsible corporations. So, we may have to call out a few on that and just see if what I'm seeing maybe is the same as what some of you are seeing, and how we can collectively change our habits again, in our daily lives, what's important to us as a family, and how can we take that out into our community. So I am so excited for this week. I am so excited for Earth Day, and I again thank our partner, the Living Earth, who allows me to show this wonderful globe. And I don't know if you've noticed it or if somebody zoomed in on it, but this is actually a puzzle, and all of the pieces fit together so perfectly. And that's how I always view the Earth, especially from when I'm flying, is I look down on this gorgeous, gorgeous landscape and I see just beauty. I can look through the clouds, or I can look down as I'm flying over the ocean, and I just see beauty. I don't see boundaries. I don't see anything except for what is there, and it's just always a dramatic view for me. I absolutely love it. And so thanks again to the Living Earth for partnering with us. I am taking the plastic pledge, and I hope that you engage this Saturday coming up. But more so, I hope that just ignites you and your family to just begin anew with your own pledge and in your own families. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being with me today, and I look forward to talking again to you soon. Have a great day.